What if the things you've been throwing away are actually little gifts from nature waiting to be used again? That's one of the things that farming has taught me. It has completely changed the way I look at everyday life because when you grow your own food, or at least some of it, and care for your own animals, you start realizing that so many things we just casually throw away actually have another purpose. And one of those little lessons came from my chickens. Now, let me tell you about my chickens. I really love caring for them, but they are really fussy. They have personalities, preferences, and they have very specific ideas about what they will and will not eat. But even with all of their fussiness, I really enjoy taking care of them because they've become such a beautiful part of my everyday life here. And one thing I learned a while back is that I can give my chickens their eggshells back. So instead of throwing those shells into the garbage, I rinse them, I let them completely dry, and then I crush them into small pieces before giving them back to them. Why? Because eggshells are very rich in calcium, and laying hens use a tremendous amount of calcium to produce those beautiful eggs that I collect from them. So giving crushed, thoroughly dried eggshells back to the laying hens can supplement their calcium intake and support strong bones and, most importantly, strong eggshell formation. And I love that concept because it's such a perfect little example of nature completing a cycle. The chicken gives me an egg, I use the egg, and instead of throwing the shell away, I return, not create, I return that mineral-rich shell to the chickens, and they use that calcium as part of the process to create more eggs for me. So nothing is really wasted, and that mindset has started spilling over into other areas of my life. The veggie scraps that might have gone into the trash or the fruit scraps are food for the chickens or compost. And things I once considered useless now make me stop and ask, is there another purpose for this? And that's what I love about farming. It reconnects you with nature and reminds you that everything has value. Even the things we think are finished, even the things we think are just waste. And I think there's a lesson in that for us because sometimes we're so quick to discard things, we don't immediately see their purpose anymore. But nature has a way of showing us that the end of one stage is the beginning of another. So even though my chickens are fussy, they teach me some very valuable lessons. They're teaching me to appreciate what I have, to use what I have, to waste less, and to understand that there is beauty in a cycle where nothing is just thrown away. It's just transformed and given another purpose. And maybe that's why I love this life so much, because farming isn't just showing me how to grow food, it's showing me how to live. I want to know, what's something you used to throw away that you learned has another purpose? I would love to know in the comments because I'm always looking for new ways to live a little bit more intentionally and waste a little less, because that's very important, not just for us, but for our environment as a whole. So thank you so much for listening. Love, health, and wealth.